The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Hello, this is TVWAN News. Thanks for joining us. In this edition, government to transfer mine shares. Australia highlights trading importance. And Australian Rugby League Commission backs PNG. The Papua New Guinea Chamber of Resources and Energy is calling on community leaders, landowners, and small-scale miners to unite in tackling the escalating issue of unregulated alluvial mining across the country. Unregulated alluvial mining poses a serious threat to the mining industry, local communities, and legitimate small-scale miners. Recent reports have highlighted a surge in illegal mining practices, gold smuggling, and a decline in lawful alluvial gold production, raising alarm across the sector. In response to these developments, the Mineral Resources Authority has issued a public stop work notice targeting unauthorized alluvial mining operations involving heavy machinery. This enforcement followed confirmed reports of individuals and companies conducting illegal mining activities in designated alluvial mining districts and other regions. The MRA emphasized that these operations violate the Mining Act 1992 and warned that further breaches would result in legal consequences. The Marape Rosso government will this week announce the transfer of all shares owned by the independent state of Papua New Guinea in Bougainville Copper Limited to the people of Bougainville. Prime Minister James Marape is set to make the formal announcement at the Government House this Thursday, the 26th of June 2025. The shares worth over 140.3 million kina at current market value will be transferred to the autonomous Bougainville government.
The state currently holds 146,175,449 ordinary shares in BCL, representing a total of 36.45% of its issued capital in two separate tranches of 19.06 and 17.39 percentages share respectively. The transfer follows the decision of the National Executive Council for the people of Bougainville to own these shares. The decision also meets the Joint Supervisory Body's direction in its meeting of 12 March 2020 for the state's 36.45% shareholding in BCL to be transferred to ABG. The transfer of shares will now change the control of BCL, with ABG and the people of Bougainville assuming ownership of 72.9% of BCL's issued capital. It is being carried out at no cost to ABG. Prime Minister James Marape expressed satisfaction in progressing this matter and committed to transferring the entire shareholding to the government of Bougainville. Marape expressed how Panguna Mine supported the country's economy after independence and said the people of Bougainville deserved PNG's gratitude for hosting the mine, which supported the economy for 13 years, well before any of the current projects came online. He noted that the transfer of the shareholding also complements his government's policies for Bougainville to be economically independent by raising its revenues internally to complement the national government's grants as PNG prepares for Bougainville's future. Marape further commended the ABG president, Ismail Toroama, who also pushed for this to happen and said this is a mutually reached decision on both sides and reflects on the work the two governments are undertaking for Bougainville. Ruth Rungula, TVWAN News.
Staff from the Institute of National Affairs and the Consultative Implementation and Monitoring Council participated in a full-day session with BSP Life PNG Limited, exploring the One Talk Delight life insurance product, a tool designed to support life protection and long-term savings. The session delivered by BSP Life Insurance Advisor Siawa Miro emphasized the importance of financial resilience and reducing dependence on borrowing, which continues to burden many Papua New Guinean families. The product includes a savings component, allowing policyholders to accumulate wealth over time while ensuring their families are financially protected in times of loss. It also supports everyday needs such as education and living expenses. Australian Minister for Pacific Island Affairs Pat Conroy has attended the Australia-Papua New Guinea Business Forum and Trade Expo to continue building momentum for businesses of all sizes to engage in PNG. This has highlighted that Papua New Guinea is one of Australia's most important trade and investment partners in the region, with more than 4,000 Australian companies exporting to PNG.
Papua New Guinea is one of Australia's most important trade and investment partners in the region, with more than 4,000 Australian companies exporting to PNG. Australia is investing more than $200 million annually in economic and social infrastructure support through bilateral aid programs and $1.2 billion in grants and loans to support major capital projects across ports, roads, and electrification under the Australian Infrastructure Financing Facility for the Pacific. These investments will make it easier for PNG businesses to grow, for communities to thrive, and for investors to have confidence in the future of this economy. Australian Minister for Pacific Island Affairs Pat Conroy attended the Australia-Papua New Guinea Business Forum and Trade Expo to continue building momentum for businesses of all sizes to engage in PNG.
We are, and I'm very proud to say this, Papua New Guinea's third largest export destination. Third largest. Papua New Guinea runs a surplus with Australia. We invest more in Papua New Guinea than we do in Indonesia or India. And we are arguably your largest provider of foreign capital. And our investment in Papua New Guinea grew by 70% in the last 5 years.
Minister Conroy also spoke on the economic impact of the PNG NRL announcement.
So it is truly transformational. And just think about this for a moment. It will put PNG tourism on the map in Australia like you've never seen before. Every second week, you will see Australians, over 1 million Australians who watch footy on their television screens, will see Port Moresby and Papua New Guinea showcased. Looking forward to coming back in 2028 for the first game. That will not only bring our people together, it will grow the economy of Papua New Guinea like you've never seen before.
Through a statement, the Australian High Commission emphasised that Australia will continue to be a reliable partner for Papua New Guinea and is committed to creating conditions for sustainable growth. Maricela Kelleton, TVWAN News.
In a significant move to deepen institutional collaboration and addressing shared priorities in justice and migration governance, the Department of Justice and Attorney General and the International Organization for Migration signed a renewed Memorandum of Understanding recently. The event marked a reaffirmation of shared priorities in justice, migration, governance, and community resilience. The renewed MOU establishes a structured framework for cooperation, aligning DJAG's national justice mandate with IOM's mobility mandate, covering peace building, humanitarian response, and development. This is TV1 News. Stay tuned after the break. Oil Palm Festival opens in West New Britain.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magical cuddle, get up and big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great kumu too. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Our journey starts with you. We'll be there from the start, right through to your life's adventures. We'll ensure comfort and make your safety our priority. We'll take you to memorable moments, no matter where it begins. And we'll get you there like we've always done. The 4th generation coaster bus, more than just a bus.
Tell him shorty come get it in. Come grind on me, but met it in. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell him who's gonna bring that groove down. Pepsi with the fresh sound. Tell him who's gonna bring that groove down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Pepsi, give me some Pepsi bottle. Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi bottle.
For Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever.
Yes!
From small dreams to big possibilities. One Top Jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
Thanks for staying with us. The Papua New Guinea Chamber of Resources and Energy has delivered a major boost to pediatric healthcare in the Highlands region with the donation of vital medical equipment to the Western Highlands Provincial Health Authority last Saturday. PNG Core Charity Golf Challenge since 2023, held annually in Sydney, has become a flagship fundraising initiative and in a shared mission to give back to communities. The 2023 and 2024 events raised a combined total of 300,000 kina, with over 200,000 kina used to procure life-saving medical equipment for Mount Hagen's pediatric ward. Western Highlands Provincial Health Authority CEO Jane Holden described the donation as transformational, enabling the hospital to continue delivering high-quality care despite limited resources. The draft National Gender-Based Violence Strategy and Action Plan 2026 to 2035 was presented to the private sector and donor partners for their feedback recently. This is part of the process to socialize and vet the new strategy before it goes to the National Executive Council for endorsement. Last week, Friday, the draft National Gender-Based Violence Strategy and Action Plan 2026 to 2035 was presented for feedback to the private sector and donor partners. This is part of the process to socialize and vet the new strategy before it goes to the National Executive Council for endorsement. Secretary for Department of Community Development and Religion, Jerry Ubase, thanked NCD Governor and Chair of the Permanent Parliamentary Committee on GBV, Powers Pakop, for his continued leadership and acknowledged all partners for their contributions to shaping the strategy. He added that one of his key priorities going forward is to establish a dedicated office for women in PNG. Governor Pakop commended the progress made so far and highlighted that despite ongoing efforts, the prevalence of GBV remains high. Women and girls are still not fully participating in our country's development, and I believe this strategy can bring positive change over the next 50 years, he said. National GBV Secretariat Director Diane Kambane said the new strategy aims to strengthen coordination among government agencies, civil society, development partners, the private sector, and communities. The draft strategy was also presented to UN heads and the Permanent Parliamentary Committee on Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment. The next presentation will be to government agencies. Kambane noted that the current strategy ends in 2025 and the new one will be co-financed 60% by the government, 30% by donors, and 10% by the private sector. From the 20th to the 22nd of June, One Talk Bosco 2025, a camp gathering participants from various Don Bosco settings, was held at Don Bosco, Araimiri in the Gulf Province. 209 participants attended, including Salesian priests, sisters, young people, and their animators from the following Don Bosco institutions and parishes. Among them were Don Bosco Technological Institute, Boroko Don Bosco Technical School, Gabutu, Mary Help of Christians, Herehere, Mary Help of Christians Parish, Sabama, and the host Don Bosco Araimiri. The objectives of the One Talk Bosco camp were rooted in the 2025 Strana, anchored in hope, pilgrims, and the young people. Young people from Araimiri, Akapiru, and Herehere were urged to consider priesthood or religious life in response to the 45 years of Salesian presence in the Gulf Province. Minister for Culture and Tourism Belden Nama today officially opened the Oil Palm Festival of Arts and Culture in Kapore in Nakanai District, West New Britain Province. The ceremony was attended by various dignitaries, including Minister for Oil Palm Francis Maneke and Provincial Member Sasindran Muthuvel, who joined the festivities to celebrate the vital role of oil palm in the region's cultural and economic landscape. The festival is designed to showcase the rich heritage and art history of local communities, while also emphasizing the importance of sustainable oil palm cultivation. Activities throughout the festive include cultural performances to appreciate the art and culture intertwined with the oil palm industry. Minister Nama expressed his commitment to supporting local initiatives and promoting cultural preservation through events like this. The festival serves as a platform for dialogue on the future of oil palm farming and its impact on both the local economy and environment. And now the finance news. The kina closed lower at $0.2428 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2353, $0.3599 Australian dollars, €0.1947 euro, and 33.73 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, cocoa and copper closed higher, gold, coffee, palm oil, and crude oil closed lower. Copper closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Buying PNG made.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like it more.
Rohan, really messing with your game. Time to sweep him out of the room. Or maybe not.
Ding bang ding, ding ding dong, bum bum bum, ding bang ding, bum bum.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Jerry Evans to Ola Kawaku, one-on-one, he beat Matt Croker. He beats them all and scores another one. Latu Fainu to Lua, kicking for Seyfarth, that'll be the try that the Tigers needed. Alex Seyfarth scores, they're on the board, game on.
Goes to Ponga, rubbers, his best, he gets another one.
Opening to Chris, the flick pass on debut. Yes, Jenny, Jen Stewart scores.
Thanks for staying with us. Turning overseas, Iranians living in Australia have expressed feelings of helplessness and guilt as they watch the unpredictable conflict between their home country and Israel. Many fear for the lives of their loved ones, and some hope the conflict could lead to change for the country.
A Coffs Harbour mother worries for her daughter a world away in Iran. Madia is stuck there, sheltering alongside her husband and 3 children.
I fear that my daughter will die of stress and fear even before her house and family are bombed.
Amina Peruzi, an Afghan by birth, fled Iran 11 years ago with 2 of her children. By then, Madia was married and unable to join them.
I plead to the Australian government to help my daughter flee as soon as possible. It's been 2 months and I can't take this anymore. I can't even go to work because of her situation.
Brisbane couple Azin Nagibi and Hassan Arouji fled Iran in 2013 and are members of the royalist Iran Novan Party, which supports restoring the monarchy.
Freedom from family.
They say while it's a terrifying time for their family in Tehran, they want to see the end of the Islamic regime.
We love our country. We love whatever we had before. Sorry. Of course, I get emotional. This is really heartbreaking that Iran is facing the war. The people don't deserve to live like that, but the hope is a lot greater than that.
Newcastle resident Baha Chaichi also has loved ones in Iran.
I think that feeling of powerlessness is the most challenging thing that we are dealing with these days.
A myriad of emotions for those with loved ones caught in the conflict.
Today marks 75 years since the Korean War started, when forces from the north, backed by China and the former Soviet Union, crossed into South Korea.
We're expecting a turnout of a few hundred people here in Canberra this morning. In the very cold and wet conditions, the apparent temperature is -2 right now. But today is really about remembering what is often dubbed the forgotten war. About 18,000 Australians served during the 3-year conflict, which began just 5 years after the end of World War II. Of those, 340 Australians lost their lives, about 1,200 were wounded and 30 were taken prisoner. And of those Australians killed, 42 have no known grave. So today's national commemorative service is being held on Anzac Parade in front of the National Korean War Memorial, which is just down the road from the main war memorial. And you might be able to see behind me the poles at this memorial represent the lives lost during the conflict. Now, the Department of Veteran Affairs estimates there are about 1,000 Korean War veterans still alive in Australia today, and most of them are believed to be at least 93 years old. So today is being seen as the last significant milestone to honour these veterans, their service and their sacrifice, while some of them are still living. Now, we've been told that veterans and their families have travelled from across Australia to be here today. I'm told there is at least one veteran who's driven all the way from WA, and he's in his 90s. So a very significant morning here in Canberra this morning, and the service will kick off at 10:30.
China's bold words on the Israel-Iran war mask a deeper truth. It's defending itself, not Tehran, and its influence is weaker than it looks. U.S. President Donald Trump has said a ceasefire is imminent, declaring an end to what he called the 12-day war. But Iran has pushed back, saying no agreement has been reached. Tehran's message was conditional. It would hold fire only if Israel ended what it described as illegal aggression, leaving the diplomatic picture murky. Amid that uncertainty, Chinese President Xi Jinping made a high-profile move on the global stage, with Beijing submitting a draft UN Security Council resolution calling for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire between Israel and Iran. The Melbourne Food Bank, back to basics in Narre Warren South, feeds up to 7,000 people a week, but is facing closure after being hit with stricter planning rules by KC Council. With its future in doubt, is now preparing to take its case to VCAT.
Food like this is usually out of reach for those who visit Kelly Warren's food bank.
That's $30 worth of steak.
She and her husband Craig run the charity Back to Basics, and demand has been through the roof. For some clients, it's been years since they've been able to afford meat.
We had an elderly lady turn up. She was eating bread and tomato sauce. We cried.
Back to Basics is now facing an uncertain future. KC Council has granted the charity a planning permit to continue operating, but it comes with strict conditions. They can no longer sell anything from their op shop, which is their financial lifeline. They're also not allowed to accept donated foods when clients are on site, meaning their daily unscheduled deliveries are now at risk.
We won't get the food in. We'd get the food that we collect, but we won't get any other food.
The prospect of closing the food bank has taken its toll on the couple.
It's affected our mental health. Yeah.
The city of KC is home to some of the most disadvantaged people in Victoria. 56,000 residents are struggling. The poverty rate is 16%. For former client Kate O'Sullivan, Back to Basics was vital.
It's the hardest thing to not be able to provide for your own child.
Back to Basics is now planning to take its case to the state's highest tribunal. It's a move that could help secure its future, but one that doesn't come without a cost.
It's between $10,000 and $15,000, which is a lot of money because we've already spent over $50,000 trying to get this permit.
In a statement, the council said it valued Back to Basics, but wanted to make sure the community could access the services safely.
I just want to help people. I don't think there's a law against helping people.
It's a battle for the basics.
Changes to NDIS funding set to take effect on the 1st of July are raising alarm in the disability community. Allied health providers are warning that cuts to travel subsidies will make it harder for people in regional Australia to receive critical care.
You can take that off.
Since he was very young, Avery Randall has relied on regular therapy for his cerebral palsy, much of it delivered at home.
When Avery was born, he had a lot of speech problems, and our speech pathologist used to drive down from Launceston all the way to our house in Penguin once a week to help Avery.
His dad, Adam, says those visits were critical in his son's development.
Without that sort of financial help that they get to travel, Avery, as far as I'm concerned, wouldn't be as advanced as he is.
Remember, dribble. Good job.
But under the NDIS's latest annual pricing review, travel subsidies for allied health providers are set to be halved, a move Avery's physiotherapist says could stop allied health practitioners from travelling to regional areas.
It means that all the clients that can come to the clinic will have to be seen at the clinic, and any clients that can't come to the clinic, we just won't be able to see them anymore.
Australia's peak body for disability service providers agrees the pricing changes will discourage providers from travelling, which will especially affect people living in regional areas.
They're not going to get the support they need, and that is really concerning for people with those complex support needs. And what happens then, we don't know.
The NDIA said it is committed to improving access to support for regional and remote Australians. A spokesperson said the price changes will ensure NDIS participants are not paying significantly higher rates for some services than those outside of the NDIS.
Gas hot water systems will be phased out in all Victorian homes from March 2027, with electric systems required in new builds and when gas systems reach the end of their life. The reforms are part of the state's plan to cut emissions, reduce residential gas use, and redirect gas supply to industry.
Bruce McGregor has happily washed his hands of his defunct gas hot water system, opting instead to go electric.
We didn't like using gas. It's just not necessary.
It's a move other Victorians will have to start making as the government looks to cool the state's love affair with gas. Over 2 million Victorians use gas in their homes and businesses, more than any other state or territory.
We understand that those legacy gas fields in the Bass Strait, they are a diminishing resource.
As part of the plan, Victorian landlords will also have to replace unrepairable gas heaters with reverse cycle air conditioners in their rental properties from 2027, as well as improve insulation and shower heads and seal drafts. All new homes and commercial buildings will also be built all electric from 2027.
This is about making sure that we've got sufficient gas supply well into the future.
There are no changes to heating rules for owner-occupiers, and all Victorians can continue to cook with gas in existing homes. But Victoria's opposition warns the government's gone too far in what it calls a war on gas.
People should be able to choose in their own home what they shower with, what they cook with, and how they heat their homes.
While some want the government to go further.
It's only a matter of time before we need a comprehensive plan to rapidly and equitably wrap up the gas main system, retire it completely for good.
The new minimum efficiency standards will be implemented in March 2027.
You're watching TV1 News. Next in sports, Muruk's prevail in Thriller and Lewis win Cricket Invitational.
Boom! The One Talk jackpot is rolling over week on week. 500,000 Kina. Get your tickets now. Draws every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Play now at 321lotto.com.pg or any of your 321 authorized retailer. 321. Win big every day.
New Fabuloso multi-purpose cleaner with an irresistible fragrance that lasts all day long, creating a field of flowers in every corner of your home with an irresistible fragrance that lasts and lasts all day long. Fabuloso, irresistible fragrance.
Rugby League is a powerful force that unites Papua New Guinea and develops our youth. Through partnerships with the PNG LNG Kumals, Grassroots Rugby League and Justin Olam, we aim to instill skills to last a lifetime.
I'm community blue. When it's on you walk him, I'm a community. You must all block community.
When we invest in people, we invest in tomorrow's possibilities.
You sabi to awesome condom and wambla way where you can abrusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy. Tingim, use him condom long right way. Stop safe na look out him you yet. Use him condom all get a time. Suppose you know save long HIV status long partner blog you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use him condom good all get a time. Long haborusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use him condom banisim you yet na future blog you. This platok save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Digicel TV brings you PNG's #1 sports channels. TV1 Sports, TV1 Sports 2 and 3. Get these 3 favorite TV1 Sports channels for your exclusive access to the NRL Premiership season, the State of Origin series, Super League, Host Plus Cup, Digicel ExxonMobil Cup, and more. Stay up to date and watch all the actions live and exclusive. Get your 40-channel Digicel prepaid pack now and watch these 3 sports channels along with 37 other free channels. Subscribe now on the 40-channel Digicel prepaid pack for a 1, 7, 14 or 30-day plan. Enjoy the 40 channels of world-class entertainment and live sports. Dial *515# to subscribe now. Digicel TV. More channels, more choices, more value.
Love with the forehand. Oh, that's a brilliant try.
Gets it away. That's a ball.
The top for Tom Johnstone.
An absolute cakewalk for whole KR tonight.
Here he goes. goes Dangle! Dangle's in! Saints celebrate! Gives it to Gagai. Roderick Ty's not going to catch him. And that was another classic.
We are a close polyamorous squad of 4 people. Taya's my wife and Alicia's my girlfriend.
Alicia's my wife and Taya's my girlfriend.
Poly Family starts Thursday, July 3 on TLC.
Thanks for staying with us. Chairman of the Australian Rugby League Commission, Peter Vlandis, has expressed strong support for the new Papua New Guinea National Rugby League franchise, emphasizing that it will be an attractive destination for marquee players. He highlighted the significance of a tax exemption for players, which he believes will encourage them to relocate to Papua New Guinea with their families to participate in the league.
During discussions with the Prime Minister James Marape, Vlandis conveyed his optimism about the franchise's competitive potential, predicting that the team would rank in the top 8 in its inaugural season. He committed to attracting top-tier talent to ensure that the franchise's success. Vlandis also addressed concerns regarding the financial sustainability of the PNG NRL team, indicating that the new franchise board is composed of members with strong business acumen. This, he believes, will enhance the team's competitiveness and long-term viability.
Today the Prime Minister announced a very high-powered board. Some of the top business people from Papua New Guinea, most of them are residents of Papua New Guinea. They know the business sector here, they know the ecosystems here. We're very confident in their ability to deliver, and I think they'll be, as I said, will be very competitive in the very first year.
In terms of player recruitment, Vlandis confirmed that PNG players will be exempt from the salary cap, allowing every club to include 2 PNG players without those contracts affecting their salary cap limit. Its club will have a salary cap of $12 million, promoting inclusivity and supporting local talent.
As part of the salary cap, we've exempted Papua New Guinea players, so every club can have 2 Papua New Guinea players without having to put it on the salary cap, which is very important because every club's got $12 million salary cap. They can't spend more than that unless it gets 2 PNG players.
Additionally, Vlandis expressed admiration for the PNG team, the junior Kumals, noting their impressive performance in a draw against the Australian schoolboys side, which highlights the potential of rugby league in the region.
And last year, who could forget the marvellous PNG schoolboys side who drew with Australia? Now, from my perspective, the Australian schoolboys side has always been very powerful and has always brought the elite players. Most of the first-grade players in the NRL system came through the schoolboys system. And for the Papua New Guinea team to draw with them is an extraordinary event. If that's an example of the future, Papua New Guinea will dominate, and that's what we're worried about. We're not worried about them being competitive. We're worried about them dominating because they could be, as the Minister Conroy said, they could be the next Penrith.
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
Following his appointment on the inaugural PNG NRL board, former PNG Kumals captain and Melbourne Storm legend Marcus Bai expressed mixed emotions about this new role. He described the opportunity as humbling and a special honor, noting this position differs vastly from his experiences as a player, while expressing excitement about his new responsibilities and the chance to leverage his experience from the foundational days of the Melbourne Storm in the 1990s. He looks forward to contributing to the growth and success of the PNG NRL franchise and helping to cultivate a local talent.
Obviously, over the 10 years of rugby league in the top in NRL and Super League. And there's a lot of other players, Stanley Gene, Adrian Lamb, Johnny Wilson, Mark Mom, all these players, Michael Marum, the governor, Isn't Britain, can be part of those. There's so many good players that in the past that can be part of it. I am honored. And
Papua New Guinea Leo's captain Brenda Tau has described the recently concluded Pacific Oz Sports Cricket Invitational as a powerful symbol of unity, culture and empowerment for women across the Pacific. Tau extended her gratitude to the Australian Government, Cricket Australia, the Australian High Commission, Pacific Oz Sports, Cricket PNG and the organisers of the week-long tournament for their tireless support in making the tournament a success.
Brenda Tau, on behalf of the PNG Lewas, thanked the Australian Government, Cricket Australia, Australian High Commission, Pacific Oz Sports, Cricket PNG, and all the organisers for making the tournament special. Tau praised the invitational as more than just cricket, highlighting the deeper impact it has made on building bridges across the Pacific. She said the invitational is about connection, culture, and creating lasting bonds. The tournament featured teams from across the Pacific, Australia Indigenous, Samoa, and Vanuatu, showcasing both emerging talent and seasoned players, and was praised as a key initiative in promoting gender equality in sport. PNG Lewa's captain said the best memory of the tournament was the game against the Australian Indigenous, which the Lewas won against a very good side. Tau said they came out on top at the end of the tournament, reflecting the win on teamwork and effort. The Lewas team said the experience on the field was invaluable, as this tournament helps them prepare for upcoming international tournaments. The first is the East Asia Pacific Qualifiers, which will be held in Fiji in September. The Pacific Oz Sports Cricket Invitational continues to be recognized as a groundbreaking initiative in growing women's cricket in the region and promoting inclusive sporting opportunities for Pacific nations. Susan Oriape, TV1 Sports.
Papua New Guinea returns to the OFC Women's Nations Cup next month as defending champions, aiming to assert their dominance once again and chase a second consecutive title on Fijian soil.
The 2022 tournament marked a historic milestone for the PNG team as they captured their first ever OFC Women's Nations Cup crown, edging host Fiji 2-1 in a hard-fought final. Now, with expectations higher than ever, head coach Erickson Komeng is focused on maintaining that winning edge.
Defending it is another task after winning it in 2022. But we have a good squad, and we're looking forward for the tournament with the inclusion of some of the senior players. So we're looking good for the tournament.
Papua New Guinea have been drawn in Group A alongside Samoa, Tahiti, and Cook Islands, all teams that have shown steady growth in recent years. The tournament kicks off against Samoa on 4th July before facing Tahiti and Cook Islands in what promises to be a competitive group. Komeng is under no illusions about the challenge ahead.
Firstly, we look forward to play against Samoa in the first game, so we won't take any team lightly. They are good in their own right, so we just have to, like I said, be ourselves, concentrate on ourselves, and be competitive.
To prepare for the title defense, Papua New Guinea played 2 international friendlies against Fiji earlier this year. They showed flashes of form in a 2-2 draw before falling 3-1 in the second match. Valuable test against one of the region's top sides.
Fiji came here with a good side, and they did well. So it's going to be tough for us, but we keep working hard, and we're looking forward for the tournament. We just have to be competitive.
Susan Oriape, TV1 Sports.
Tahiti are setting their sights high on a historic semi-final berth at the upcoming OFC Women's Nations Cup in Fiji, with head coach Xavier Samin confident his side can challenge the region's top teams. Drawn in a Group A alongside defending champions Papua New Guinea, Samoa and the Cook Islands, Tahiti face a tough path to the knockout stages, but one they are embracing with determination and ambition. This will be Tahiti's fourth appearance at the OFC Women's Nations Cup. The team made history in 2022 by reaching the quarterfinals for the first time. Following earlier campaigns in 2010 and 2014, it marked a major milestone for the women's program and set a platform for future success. Tahiti opened their campaign against the Cook Islands on July the 4th, followed by a clash with the Papua New Guinea, one of the tournament favorites, on July the 7th, before rounding out group play against Samoa on July the 10th. Coach Samin believes his squad can take another step forward. The Pillai Long Senis program is inspiring change in remote parts of the Highlands and Morobe provinces, using sport and storytelling to engage communities in conversations around gender, education, and leadership. In a unique approach to community development, the Pillai Long Senis program, powered by AFL-PNG and the PNG Tribal Foundation, has successfully concluded its outreach across Western Highlands and Morobe. Through the AFL New Kick platform and the Senisim Passing campaign, hundreds of young people in schools like Mount Gilue High and Bumayong Lutheran Secondary were engaged in structured sporting activities and open community forums. At the heart of the program is a call for gender equality, driven home through screenings of the Senisim Passing documentary, encouraging participants to rethink traditional roles and take proactive steps towards inclusive development. And that ends the sports segment. We'll now have the weather forecast. Regional forecast. Southern. Port Moresby, partly cloudy with possible showers and thunderstorms. Alotau, cloudy with few rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Momase, Ley, partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorm. Wewak, partly cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Vanimo, partly cloudy, some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau becoming cloudy with few showers, rain and possible thunderstorm. Buka cloudy with occasional heavy rain, showers and thunderstorm. Highlands, Baroka, Barnes and Kundiawa, partly cloudy with few showers. Ocean forecast. Coral Sea, seas moderate to rough with easterly to southeast winds of 20 to 33 knots. Solomon Sea, seas light to moderate to patches rough over southeastern sector, rough at times over southeastern sector. Bismarck Seas, seas smooth to slight with easterly to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Pacific Ocean, seas smooth with northeast to easterly winds of 5 to 10 knots. And coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Island to Hood Point to Samar Island. Sea 0.5 to 1.5 meters, rising to 2 to 3 meters along warning areas. Waters east of Samar Island to Cape Vogel and All Milling Bay Islands. Sea 0.5 to 1.5 meters, rising to 3 meters along warning areas. Waters of New Britain, sea 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters north of Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf to Finchefin, sea 0.5 to 1.3 meters. And that ends TV1 News. Thanks for watching. Good night.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by